Hi, travelers. Tara here. This is a random reading. I woke up this morning and my guides were saying that it was time just to post a random reading. We are in day 29, I think, of the government shutdown. It is the MLK weekend. It is also the total lunar eclipse weekend. I am today rocking the pirate look. Let me show y'all what I mean. See, I've got my eye patch on. I woke up this morning and I think I've got a sty on my eye. And I woke up this morning and my eye was all jacked up. So I will be reading to you with the eye that I have. Okay. If there are any misspellings or any incorrect information that you see in the card section, which is where the little eyes are that pop up on the screen, the information, that's where you click that and it'll take you over to the website. So if there's any misspellings, please forgive me. Now, the first thing I need to talk to you guys about before we lay the cards is WordPress did an update, right? And you know how I always tell you guys to, your intuition is telling you something. So for a whole month, I didn't click that thing. And I was like, there's just something not right with it. First, I thought it was the incorrect version. I was like, they're asking me to downgrade. And it didn't make any sense to me. So I backed the site up. At least I thought I did. Then I did the update. And I always do that. But it broke the site. And so I went back. I haven't downgraded yet because that's going to be a lot of work and I'm working with one eye. But what I did was I went in and I kind of changed around the permalink structures. And that should, because what's happening is when you click on, you try to log in or you click in, it'll either redirect you back to the login page or it'll pull up the 404 error code, which is in effect kind of like the site is down, or it may pull up a oops, that page isn't found. So I went in and I played around with the permalink structure. And so I need help from you guys, those of you website members, to log in and to see if you're having any issues. If you are, per se, and you can't get to me through the support desk link, you can find my email address, okay, in the About box section of my channel. So I need you to email me and explain to me, tell me, how the site's behaving, what happens after you log in, what are you seeing, what pages are you being taken to, are you having, if for those of you who may want to purchase a reading, are you having any issues with the payment gateways? Because what I'm trying to avoid doing is having to downgrade the site and then re-upload a whole bunch of stuff. That's really gonna, but I may just have to roll up my sleeves and do the hard work. So I really need your help in that, and I would appreciate it. Even if you're not interested in doing anything, if you can just click around and then get back to me, because what I'm seeing on the admin side is different from what you see. Okay, that's that one thing. There was something else I was gonna tell you. Well, since I've been having issues with the website, I'm going to continue with the sale on the 45-minute reading. And I'm going to continue on, and that's like $37.58 or something like that. And I'm going to continue with the Akashic Records being half price for the members. And again, if you're having any issues accessing that, just email me and then we can work it out on the backside until I can figure out what the hell WordPress did. So, with that being said, we're going to, and by the way, so we're going to open the cards, and we're going to clarify with either La Vida Sibila or the Indovina Sibilas. I got those out. And we have the playing cards, and then I'm going to pull a Heart Oracle Tarot. New subscribers to my channel, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. Old subscribers, thank you for sticking with me. Can you believe we're already going into February? That's crazy, ain't it? All right, so let's just, and I might pull just the regular tarot. I can't even call the name of them right now. I'm working with one eye. Come on now. And so let's just pull the cards and see what they have to say. Okay. I've got a lot of guides around me, I think, trying to help me. So it may take a minute for the din to die down. And one of them is going to step forward. Okay. 7 of Wands. I will show you these cards. All right. 6 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. The Devil. The Lovers. Well, the Ace of Wands. This line is loaded. Okay. The Judgment. Wow, these are some big cards. There's the 4 of Swords. And there's the Justice card. Now, there's lots of things happening in this particular reading. So what do we know about the sun? The sun in astrology represents the masculine principle. It is the forward-thinking, outward-facing, aggression, masculine principle or energy. But yet the sun is also the body that gives us life. Nothing on earth can survive without sunshine. Nothing on earth can survive without water, right? So it is a life-affirming, life-giving energy. But we also know that it can burn as well. The sun is the most positive card in any tarot deck that you're going to encounter. But the sun in astrology also represents your ego. How do you shine? How do you gain and seek attention? How do you put yourself out there or stand out from the crowd? And then lastly, but more importantly, the sun illuminates things for you. You can see better in clear daylight than you can on a foggy day or underneath the light of the moon, right? So typically when I see the sun coming out, this tells me that for some of you, something is going to be illuminated for you. For some of you, this could be the idea of a way forward in something that has been giving you a whole lot of trouble. You hadn't had any clarity on it. With these 2 cards of Judgment and Justice, for some of you, this is a legal issue, okay? And right now there's a break on that. There's a stepping away from something. The Lovers, typically right in the center, will represent the idea of a choice between head and heart. It is also about maintaining the balance of both the masculine and the feminine, being able to direct and your energy and move forward with something, but also being open and receptive. But I feel for some of you, this is a very challenging decision. Now, what I was telling you earlier about this line across the center, it is chock full of information. The Devil with the Ace of Wands speaks to, on the mundane, a highly sexual relationship. Okay? Some of you may have a choice about that. Maybe some of you have a choice about trying to determine whether or not you are strictly heterosexual. Maybe you're bisexual. Maybe you're a gay, lesbian. It is this idea of something to do with being able to control your sexual energies, but also, and to find that balance, but also to honor, right? and choose those things that are good for you on this particular plane. For others of you, this is a financial issue. Okay? Maybe it's about dividing up funds or property. Maybe this is about your business and someone coming in to help you, maybe getting a loan. Nevertheless, these are coins, and the coins always represent not just the financial aspect and the physical security, meaning having a roof over your head, having enough to eat, being able to put clothes on your back. It's not just about the financial security and or stability. It is actually about the doing of something. Okay. So for some of you, I think you've been struggling, or maybe you've been just trying to maintain your position. Maybe you are waiting on news of some kind of financial assistance and or loan to come in, or someone to help you. And maybe that news hasn't come in yet. And the reason why I say that is because this Five of Pentacles is on the backside. And this means that you either feel as though that assistance or help is not coming, or maybe whatever it is that you've been doing, that you've been fighting so hard for, okay? You're having to walk away from that at the moment. Why are you having to walk away from it? You're having to walk away from it because this represents the physical plane. This is Saturn, and Saturn talks about constraints, limitations, blocks, delays, hassles, feeling chained, being in a situation you feel you can't get out of, things being stagnant, okay? And so this is a moment for you where you're going to have to make a choice about something, okay? But what is the right choice? This is the question, right? It's always the question. That's why this Four of Swords has come out. The Four of Swords, it's about understanding that we have to take a step back. We have to rest sometimes. We have to mentally, this is about just kind of disappearing off of the scene. That's an effigy. That's not even a real person lying there. But you see, we've got the Three Swords on the wall. So it also speaks to me that there's been some kind of disappointment. Maybe the news that came in wasn't exactly what you expected it to be, or what you wanted it or hoped it to be, what you desired it to be, what you've worked for, right? And there's some disappointment here. But that fourth sword underneath says that rest your mind for a moment, because you're going to be required to get back up, okay? And this says that once you take a break or remove yourself from a situation, even if it's a conflict of some sort, everything will come right. Now, when I say that everything will come right, what I mean by that is it doesn't necessarily mean that everything's going to work out in your favor, okay? It just means that everything is going to become right. So if this is the idea that something that you've been working for, you've been hoping for, you've been waiting to hear, you're trying to resolve some particular issue, it may not go in your favor, but that is justice, because justice says once this situation has passed, everything will be in balance again. For some of you, you may get exactly what it is that you want, okay? In which case, justice will have been served and everything will be rebalanced. Now, I have 2 sixes here. 2 sixes tend to speak to the idea of justifiable faith and trust in your partner, okay? The other 2 sixes speak to the idea of self-confidence issues are affecting the relationship. And this could be any relation. This could be a business relationship. Maybe you're worried that you don't have enough, I don't know, collateral to get a business loan, or maybe your credit's not that good, or maybe you're involved with someone who may be of a higher socioeconomic status, and you're thinking, man, you know, if I had a better job, maybe I might be more attracted to this person. Well, those are thoughts. It's not necessarily based in truth. Okay. Judgment. Judgment is not only about decision making. Judgment is the idea of discernment. Okay. Justice is the idea of tact and diplomacy. It represents the sign of Libra. And, you know, in order for us to get people to buy into whatever it is we're trying to do, we have to present it to them in a way in which they feel that they're going to also get something out of it. There has to be a win-win on both sides, even if that's a compromise and we have to end up giving up a little bit of something, right? But Venus, which rules Libra, is about the idea of right relationships, okay? And this works in business because Venus is also the ruler of the second house of Taurus. And Taurus represents our personal finances, our personal businesses, our personal charities, these things that we donate to. So there's got to be a balance in the give and take for everybody to be cooperative, okay? Fairness, beauty, harmony, tact, diplomacy, discernment, decision making. I also feel that for some of you, to me, this flag and the judgment card, that's the international symbol of the hospital. If you've never traveled over Europe, if you ever do and you can't speak a lick of the language, you get sick, look for this symbol because that's going to tell you where the hospital is. This also is, if I'm not mistaken, this flag of Sweden. It may be Switzerland. I don't know. It's one of the two. So for some of you, this could have to do with somebody from one of those particular countries. Their heritage may be from one of those particular countries. Their background. There's these mountains in the background, so it could be related to that. The reason why I say that is also there's that mountain in the background there, and then we have this idea of snow here. So it could be referring to some place that is located in a cold mountainous region, perhaps in Europe. Okay? Remember now I'm reading with the one eye. So what I have are 4 major arcana cards. The major arcana cards are the big spiritual lessons. These big spiritual lessons don't always come through big major events. They can just simply be little mundane things, okay? I have 2 wands. The wands always represent your ambition, your desire, your focus, your will, but it can also represent arguments and fights. And from the 7 to this ace, that's an 8. So this tells me that for some of you, whatever it is that you've been waiting on, either that news is going to come that's going to give you the information that you need to move through this. This may be about travel, a message. It's 8 wands, and typically the 8 wands in the tarot, we don't know what those 8 wands are aimed at. They're just flying across an open space and across an open field. So this is typically travel, sometimes to do with air travel, sometimes to do with messages and news. Typically it represents a business sense. So it could be travel, having to travel in connection with business or some kind of project that you're working on. I feel for some of you, this future vertical column, that if some of you are wondering if you're going to lose perhaps a legal issue or some kind of contractual issue, that is a distinct possibility. So I want you to think long and hard, okay, about how you can right this situation for yourself, or at the very least mitigate the damage, okay? Sometimes we just have to, take crap on the chin and just do it. The Lover's card is a Mercury card, and Mercury rules communications. He rules sales. He rules negotiations. He rules I said communication. So this could be internet, text messages, post, emails, face-to-face, telephone conversations. But Mercury is also a mental planet. So this could be about thoughts, choice, head or heart. This could be about going over things in your head over and over again. Do I do this or do I do that? Do I do this or do I do that? Now, the Devil card can sometimes also speak to fear, okay? What happens if I join forces with this person? What happens if I sign this contract? So it could be that kind of a thing. I'm going to take a look. Now, y'all forgive me because with the one eye, my reading glasses look the same as my regular glasses. I'm a tortoiseshell frame girl. I think these are my reading glasses. And I'm going to try to look at this for you. You know, I'm going to tell you, the card that kind of stands out to me the most is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is the card that says that you're dealing with someone who has great strength of character, okay, and is able to focus and direct their attention in positive ways. This could be somebody that you're dealing with, but this could also be telling you that you have the strength, the character, and the fortitude to positively bring about any kind of change that you're trying to initiate. Okay, this is the initiation, and it says that even though things may be slow, they may be stuck, they may be difficult, you may just feel like you can't get out of this situation, pause and wait a moment, because sometimes this card can be about messages from the divine, literally messages out of the sky. Now, and what I mean by that is I heard from one of my friend Ann the other day, and I had not heard from her, and literally it was a voice from the ether. I was so happy to hear, but it helped me so much to hear from her. So that kind of a thing. It speaks to the idea of a new way of life coming, a rebirth. Okay, but we know that through rebirth we have to leave something behind. Yeah, Five of Pentacles, the Four of Swords. Now sometimes the Four of Swords can presage a breakup, a separation. This could be a divorce. This could be, you know, cutting business ties with people, cutting off friends, cutting off family that's draining you and trying to control you and manipulate you in some way, always asking for money, that kind of a situation. But even still, the sun has come out over the top. And the sun is trying to light the way that this too shall pass for you. And that even if you feel like you're in a dark place, that is simply a perception. That's why you're being asked to take a moment. It's perception. It's not true. You see, this is the truth. But the truth is always subjective to where you are, where you're coming from, and where you're going. And the truth can hurt. But once you face up to it, it allows you, it frees you up. Okay? What is that, George Clinton? Free your mind and your ass will follow. Okay. One of those situations. So let's take a look here and see. Now, y'all don't laugh, because I'm trying to see what I need to see here. So we're going to take a look at Seven of Wands, the Six and the Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords, and the Ace of Wands as they relate to these four major arcana cards. Okay? So let's take a look at the Seven of Wands. Nothing about the Seven of Wands. Okay? So we're going to move to the Six of Pentacles. Now, it says with six of any other suit. It is implying that harmony and happiness will soon be prevalent in your life. Be content to let things take their natural course, all in its right time. Divine timing. Remember, I just said no matter how this plays out, once you get through it, everything will go back into balance. I think some of you are kind of struggling, or at least you may be resisting, because sometimes this card can be about obstinacy and being stubborn. Maybe some of you are trying to force somebody to be in partnership with you in some way. Because sometimes this card can be about obsession and power and control issues. Okay? Whether this is through finance, through sex, through fear, intimidation, those kinds of things. You know, you want to be cautious about how you're expending your energy and why you are expending it. Okay? It is never wrong. It is always wrong to try to force people to do things against their will, even if you're using magic. Okay? Now, this Five of Pentacles says, when it appears next to the Lovers, and we see it here, it may be indicating upheaval, miscommunications, misunderstandings, and arguments within a relationship or partnership. It tells of a lack of consideration within a partnership or relationship. It may be implying the end of a close relationship or marriage. The message is to sort out any issues before they escalate, otherwise a breakup may be inevitable. Appearing next to the Lovers, it indicates a misunderstanding that may be causing unhappiness, which may ultimately lead to the breakup of a relationship. Now, this is what I'm going to say. For some of you, it just may be time. You know, the relationship has run out of road. I can't argue anymore. I don't have the strength. For others of you, you may be able to work this out. Whatever, something's being illuminated for you. Now, when the Five of Pentacles appears with the Four of Swords, it implies a serious disagreement and or argument that may lead to the severance of a partnership, friendship, or business. It may even indicate the loss of a legal case or battle. Remember I said that. It is an indication of a serious dispute, argument, disagreement, or the dissolution or severance of some kind. If this is pertaining to a legal case or issue, it may be indicating that your case may be lost. I said that to you. Ace of Wands. Because sometimes this can be a card of just hanging on to shit. For the simple fact that you don't want to let go of something. But as I always tell you, in order to gain anything new, you got to let go of something. And sometimes that means giving up something that you really had your heart set on. Whether this is finances or property or a job position, because he represents, Capricorn represents your career, your social standing in the community, your highest ideal. And it is the most public house on the natal chart. That's what's called the MC, the medium coeli. Here with the Justice card, the Libra, that's a partnership house. Okay? But it's also the house of contracts and negotiations. So when you get married, you go down to the courthouse, you file for the paperwork. Some people put announcements in the paper. There's a marriage. You invite all of your friends, your family, whatever. Maybe you go to the Justice of the Peace. Either way, it's a public, situation. Then you go and you get bank accounts, and credit cards, and you get new ID and this, that, and the other. But then when you break up, you got to go back through that same court system and do all of that, and it's public information. This can sometimes be the idea of fights in public. Maybe you're airing your dirty laundry out in the street. Maybe somebody else is airing your dirty laundry out in the street, telling secrets about you. Okay? Telling lies about you. Now, the Ace of Wands with the Devil is indicating that an important relationship needs to be analyzed and looked into deeply, as resentments and hurt feelings are lurking below the surface and need to be dealt with now. And I do feel for some of you, this is the idea that someone has been unfaithful to you. And what you're trying to do is uphold that. I trust that person. They would never do. Or why do they do that to me? Does that make any sense? So let's look at this Four of Swords. And you know what's interesting? There are no cups here. There's not one single cup. And so in a way, this kind of tells me that the love or compassion and empathy and understanding has all been drained out, or it's completely gone. Okay? But also that you are so bereft, you don't know what to do. And it doesn't really read like bereftness. In a way, it kind of reads like just kind of a shock. I can't believe this, or I can't believe that. And this is going to hold true no matter if you are same-sex or heterosexual, married, common law, live together, been dating for a long time. Okay? Because these are 5 swords here. Ultimately, these are 5 swords. So what that tells me is that, you know, some of you, it's going to be the idea that you're not going to be able to resolve this. It could be because somebody just is stubborn and doesn't want to deal with the facts. A lot of times this card, as I say, this card can represent the idea of running away, not facing up to your, or you're in a situation either through your own doings, okay, or lack thereof. 4 of Swords. Next to the Judgment, it is a message to avoid complicated situations. It indicates that you have undergone a great deal of pressure recently, and it would be unwise to step into a similar situation. It may be implying that you have undergone much pressure in this situation, so take it as a lesson well learned and avoid any similar speculation or involvement in the future. Learn from this experience and understand and appreciate the lesson. This is justice. That's what I was saying. It's neither punishment nor reward. It simply is. And once you can face up to that fact, once you realize that this calls for a whole new way of living or doing or being, whatever the case may be, then things will right themselves. That's why this whole situation is being illuminated for you. The 4 of Swords appearing next to any ace, here it is, indicates that some long-term goals or plans need to be reassessed and reevaluated before proceeding. It may be telling you that although you may not yet be involved with any long-term plans or considerations, when they do arise, make efforts to check and recheck all aspects before proceeding, as some reevaluations and amendments may be needed. Otherwise, you're going to end up on the losing end of this. For some of you, this says that this may be where you are now, but eventually that situation is going to right itself. Okay? I can't see anything else. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the and it could be that some of you are actually purposely arguing so that you can break up. Sometimes the devil will show up like somebody stalking you. Maybe you're trying to get rid of somebody and you can't. You know what I mean? In which case you may have to go get yourself a restraining order. But at the same time, you know, this is about doing, the doing of. And I'm going to read to you the Devil card before I lay these cards, okay? Because there's lots of meanings for the Devil. Oh, Jesus, I hope I can read. Hold on now. And he's come up quite often in the past few days. But we have this Saturn. Saturn is in Capricorn right now. And so this could be just the influence of the planet here. But basically, it just tells you to, you know, to face up to the truth of the situation. You know? And what are you going to do to get yourself out of this situation? First, you got to look at how you got in the situation, right? Sometimes this can be joining forces with people because it's a transactional kind of a thing, and you think it's going to be, you know, you can get X, Y, and Z, but then you find out that it's not what you thought it was. All right, let me It definitely speaks to me to some kind of um, financial, sexual, relationship, business, legal. That pretty much covers the gamut. The devil can indicate one who may be overly involved or overly concerned about the material aspects of life. It asks that you listen to your higher self. The voice of wisdom should not be ignored. Learn to respond to your spiritual needs. The devil may be telling you that you are off course in your journey, so take stock of where you are in your life. And if you are not satisfied, then make the appropriate changes. Recognize what is happening around you and make amends. That's why this shit is being illuminated. Look, there's that Three of Swords. And so some of you are going to be, it's inevitable, the heartbreak, the sorrow, the sadness. But sometimes that Three of Swords can be the liberation. Okay? Once you're done, maybe you're completely unhappy in your situation. That could be what this is illuminating for you. And once you make your decision, your choice, to walk away, to leave, to accept the truth of the situation, take a step back before moving forward, it will all balance and right itself. This is what my guides keep showing me. It foretells that something looms, something unavoidable, and although it may alarm us initially, it will prove to turn out just fine. It may be indicating that you have overindulged in some ways. This will lead to misery. Sometimes this card's the player card. Okay? It may be implying that a negative situation was brought about by clouded judgment on your behalf. You must now endure the consequences. It tells of mounting pressure brought about by selfishness and a lack of consideration. It can signify a feeling of stagnation and hopelessness. Self-motivation is needed. Listen to your inner voice and make the changes needed to unchain or unbind yourself from a negative situation. It tells of a release of feelings of entrapment. Laughter re-enters your life. It may also be indicating sound management of personal and business finances, and tells that limitations can be overcome with strength and discipline sooner than anticipated. The devil in a reading suggests that feelings of helplessness can be defeated, and there may be solutions to the situation that have not yet been explored. Remember me talking about that voice from the ether? It tells of long-term goals being reached with perseverance, bringing the desired rewards. The devil brings in freedom with a new lease on life. The devil suggests self-indulgence, which can lead to obsession and allows oneself to be tied into a situation. The devil sometimes suggests that someone who desires power may use this power for negative, selfish gains. It may indicate great stubbornness and materialism. It tells you that it is never too late to make amends, deal with your problems, and avoid emotional outbursts. It asks that you remain aware of the temptations around you so that the chains cannot bind you. It tells of the wrong use of forces and power, and of being too attached to the material aspects of life. It may be referring to feelings of being stagnant, bogged down, and hopeless, all due to your own efforts or lack thereof. Sometimes I look at this card like the feeling sorry for myself card. Okay? The devil warns of indulgences of all kinds and warns of misuse and abuse. It can tell of the beginning of the first steps towards spiritual understanding. So you are asked to listen to your inner voice and intuition. It signifies that you should reflect on the situation, ask others for advice, and work towards solving your difficulties. This whole situation is being illuminated for you. Okay? That's what that's telling you. Now, quickly, I'm going to look at the Seven of Wands. Because for some of you, this is the idea of you're trying to defend your position in a situation in which maybe the position that you really find yourself in is a negative situation. But it also tells me that some of you absolutely have the strength to fight through this, if this is something you feel worth fighting for. But if you are unhappy or you don't feel you are progressing, you really need to take a look at that and determine what your next steps are going to be. The letterato, the discovery. The belvedere, great foresight and planning. The doctore, this is the professional. This is somebody who can help. Remember, we heard about talking about finding someone who can give you advice. A doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a financial planner, estate planner, a divorce attorney, criminal attorney. We're going to look at this devil. I'm going to look at this 5 of Pentacles and then this 4 of Swords. Then we're going to pull one. I'm going to pull 3 plain cards on this Justice card. Then we're going to wrap this reading up with a, what do you call it? With that card. The reunion, the meeting, and or the partnership. I sometimes see that card as an interview. It shows up as an interview. There's the letter. And whatever this message is, it is not what you hoped for. It is not what you wanted. Exactly, it is not what you desired, but this card says that maybe you should accept this. This is a consolation. It's not the winner card. It's a consolation. It's second prize or second place. You're going to have to determine whether or not that's good enough for you. The reason why is the longer you try to win for first place, the longer you're going to find yourself in this situation. So, this is really about choice and consequences, and these are karmic cards. And people think that karma just randomly happens. It does not randomly happen. Karma is the principle of choice and consequences. Okay? When you choose to do one thing as opposed to choose to doing something else, you end up getting different results and different consequences. So for some of you, is this really worth fighting for? Or should you accept whatever it is and just keep it moving? That's the choice. The Gran Signore, the Mercante. Wow. This says to me that someone is feeling very sorry for themselves because someone walked away from this particular situation. This also says that there could be someone around you who's willing to help, but you are so caught up in whatever your miseries are that you're actually overlooking the assistance and help that you need. This is the Gran Signore. This is the man of status, influence, and power. Could be that devil card. So this, all right, could be an earth sign person or someone who at least has some kind of financial, acumen or expertise, but also knows how to do stuff. Okay. He also can represent the most important male in your life. We see that there is the Mercante. This is the businessman. So we're talking about negotiations, contractual issues. The Lamante, the friend or the confidant. So this tells me that either some of you have been kind of put in this position, or maybe this is just who you are. Maybe you've been kicked over to the friend zone. But this also implies that there is still something of some kind of trust, and a connection there between you, because the meaning of the card is a relationship of trust, a good friend, someone who's very close to you. Remember the cards we're talking about? You know, you might need to try to talk to somebody and try to make amends. It doesn't mean you're going to reconcile. It just means that you can clear the air, so to speak. Okay? So that you can move on in whatever manner that means for you. Now let's look at this Four of Swords. That could even be the idea that you're getting the news that somebody's deciding they're going to go into a new partnership with someone else. It implies that it's someone that they know, though. And that's the news that you get. Somebody says, nope, can't, no matter what. I'm moving forward with this individual. The il nemico, the enemy. Concealed anger, hate. The dispiacere, the anxiety, the worry, and the tears. And the desperate jealousy, excessive attachment to a situation. Remember I said that some of you don't want to let go? You have no choice. Well, you always have choice. Right? And if you're miserable, only you're responsible for your own happiness. We're going to pull 3 playing cards on this Justice card. This definitely presages a breakup for some of you. And this could be in any area of life. Romance, business, might even be familial, because these are the twins, could represent siblings of some sort. But really the universe is trying to open a way for you. It may hurt like hell. Right? But this is the value of the experience. Take it, learn from it, and try to move forward. 6 of Hearts, so that would be 3 sixes. 8 of Spades, which is like the Ace of Swords. And the 9 of Wands, or the 9 of Clubs. Now y'all bear with me with my one good eye, and then get ready to formulate your question. On the Justice card, the 6 of Hearts speaks to a sudden wave of good luck. Someone takes care of you or takes a warm interest in you. But here is this 8 of Spades, which says temptation, misfortune, danger, and upsets. Let me see it right here. With the 9 of Clubs, it says achievement, sometimes a wealthy marriage, or a sudden windfall. So there's 2 messages here. There's a breakup of one relationship, and then a new partnership comes in. Okay? So some of you may be divorcing or separating from a wealthy partner. That's because that partner's about to go into partnership with someone else, whether business or romance. Okay? If this is a legal issue, this just, to me, it speaks to the idea you're not going to get exactly what you want. In fact, some of you are going to lose. But on the backside of that, you have an opportunity to gain something new. Okay? Now, let's formulate one question for the Heart Oracle Tarot. That's the name of these cards. Oh, by the way, that was the other thing I wanted to tell you, website members. I'm going to be working on the Elemental Fire Romance and Relationship reading later today to have it posted. And again, if you're having any trouble with the site, please don't hesitate to contact me, okay? All right, I'm going to do this one more time. This could be the idea, too, that you have an ex that doesn't want to let you go because you got a new partnership on the horizon, right? Look, everybody has a different story. So this is why you have to purchase a personal reading. Don't assume that the cards are going to, for some people, it's like I'm standing, I'm a fly on the wall, and I'm watching everything that's happening. For others of you, there are elements that show up. But in order to gain, it can't be true or precise and dead on for each and every individual out here who may be going through this situation. So you have to know, you have to get a personal reading in order to really, really look at that. Okay? Hold on one second, my friend. I have Akashic Records reading a presentation that I have to do, and I'm running behind schedule. So one card, and I was just going to pull it. It is the Sun card again, I believe. Nope, it's the Hope card. What is the Hope card? I think it's the Star card. I believe it is. It is. Let's read it. This is a card that focuses on the qualities of hope, faith, healing, aspiration, success, and finally enlightenment. When this card appears, know that a special wish you've made may be fulfilled in time. The Hope card will help show you that the impossible can indeed be the possible. The force that works through your soul, determining what's possible and the difference between success over failure, and above all, who we are, is the power of your belief. This card serves as a reminder to use your natural ability of intuition, excuse me, the language of the soul, which is the language of the soul, as you reach for your goals and desires. The future can be yours when you have hope and trust in everything that you do. Soon, others will be attracted and drawn to your inner light. Learn to share your experiences and lessons, for those around you will also realize that by having faith and pushing forward, where one may have felt no hope at all, it is the key to success. Above all, maintaining a positive attitude starting right now, this very minute, will allow your soul to soar. You'll discover an opportunity to shine as you reach for the stars. That's what I have for you. I'm so pleased I could bring that message to you. Click on the I. That'll take you over to the website. Don't forget that the 45-minute reading is on sale. If you want to get in on the Akashic Records reading, somewhere on my channel I have a video explaining the Akashic Records, so maybe you can search the channel for that, which explains what it is. If you want to get the member half-price discount, you can simply purchase the $7 30-day membership to gain access to all of the discounts and all of the galleries and all of the information. If you're having any issues, please don't forget that you can go to the About Box section of my channel and contact me via email. I will get back to you. So, until next time, namaste. Oh God, I hope I can see how to shut this down. Arr! All right, bye.